back to the Catch the Sky podcast. This is your host, Sweet Tea, and for the first time in a long time, I am live in studio again with my co-host, Saif.
Hello, America, and our listeners all around the world. Konnichiwa, horigato, salam alaikum. We got it all.
Hola.
Holla.
So in this episode, I decide that I'm sick of Erie and decide to take off again.
T hits the road. What will happen?
Yeah, just listen to find out exactly what happens.
I think you find yourself.
Over the course of the next few episodes, I think that is an astute assessment.
You definitely find something. Multiple things.
I find multiple things along the way. In this episode specifically, I discuss my plans, and we later catch up when I arrive in Livingston, Montana, after I've seen Yellowstone and a good portion of the country. So we get a good spot there to catch up about what I've seen and discuss what is ahead for my journey, which, as you will discover over the course of the next few episodes, is ever-changing.
Shout out to Moab, Utah.
Moab, Utah, yeah. The Moab magic.
Sorry, Seattle, we didn't make it. Good luck with your protests and your riots. Keep sticking it to them out there.
You didn't make it. I made it to Seattle. I made it to Seattle. I don't want to spoil too much for our listeners, though, so I'll go ahead and let them hear the tape. And again, thank you for listening. If you ever want to catch up with us online, you may tweet at CTS Terry or search for the Catch the Sky podcast on Facebook, Apple Music, Spotify, Google, pretty much anywhere that you can listen to podcasts these days. So thank you for tuning in and enjoy.
Fuck you, COVID.
How are you, sir?
I'm all right. How are you?
Good. They're toppling Columbus statues in Minnesota. I'm very excited about what's happening.
All right. Let's go.
I don't know George Floyd and never got to meet him. When I was in Houston, I never ran into him. But, man, this guy is the Rosa Parks of this era.
Yeah, I'm excited about it.
He's just one piece. He's not even... Because Rosa Parks, I mean, she was one piece too, but she got all the credit, right?
Oh, yeah.
And it's almost like she single-handedly, helped promote civil rights here in the United States, along with Martin Luther King. What people don't realize is that so many groups, so many organizations, and then often it's one person becomes the catalyst, the martyr, right?
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
And they're already attacking his character. Apparently he robbed somebody, or I've heard he robbed a pregnant woman. I heard he killed Joe Scarborough's, the person Joe, I don't know, whatever. There's so much bullshit out there. But apparently his time in prison wasn't enough. He had to die for all the harm that he did, and that's what really what it's all about. Is we don't really care about people, do we, G?
No. Well, as a society, no.
So I'm on one. I'm ready to roll, but I am driving right now. I should share. So the audio sounds terrible.
No, you sound pretty much just as good as you usually do.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm thinking about planning a road trip here.
Where are you going?
Wherever. Take like a month or two, or a month and a half, or whatever, and just cruise across the country. Maybe stop down and see you.
Are you gonna bring a Bible with you?
No, I'm gonna bring my dog.
What about the cat?
I've debated. I'm torn. I obviously would love to bring the cats, but I mean, you can't bring the cats on a road trip.
Unless you can find a way to leash the cats.
Oh yeah, I have a harness for the little one.
Mm-hmm.
She hates it.
I'll be gone the middle of July. I don't know if that's a good thing. Like,
where are you going?
I'm going to go down river rafting down the Grand Canyon out of Moab. So different type of river, a little softer, I would describe it. Not
but I
like
might
rapid,
be in the area.
Right, and if so, you're welcome to have the place, whatever, cavort.
No, I meant in the Grand Canyon area.
Oh, Yeah, if you're in the area, then we can connect and we can meet up and we can do shenanigans together.
Can we raft together?
I don't see why not, but it is now this trip that I'm on, it's already a thing, so
yes, understood. Yeah, I if I were to road trip, I'd actually interestingly be meeting up with somebody in the middle of the country who's already road tripping. So I would kind of have a partner. I don't know if we would consolidate into one vehicle or not. I think it would be difficult with 2 dogs and 2 people, but it might be doable.
Right.
I mean, we have
There's
tents. We have the tents, so but it's not. You don't want a tent camp every night.
Say that last tin can. What?
Tent camp, like in your tent.
Oh, I'm still not following. I don't know why.
If we had 2 people and 2 dogs in one vehicle, sleeping would be kind of difficult.
Car camping, but okay.
That's why I'm saying we could use a tent, but doing that every night would be tough.
You really start to appreciate your bed after that, So yeah, it just depends on your level of tolerance and how much.
Well, I mean, each CRV is very comfortable for 1 dog and 1 person. But 2 dogs and 2 people would be very, very, I think, hard to accommodate.
Trying to find shaded parking in this godforsaken Arizona heat. And I spotted it.
Yeah, it's something we don't got to worry about here.
Not even in the summer?
In the summer, yeah, some days, but
in the winter, what do you do?
What do you mean? You just park. You just take it in the ass. You try and find somewhere that's covered, obviously. Like, I have a garage. And I'm starting to get some lawn out here. Some yard, some grass.
Have you fertilized?
No fertilization. We're raw dogging it out
I wonder if I can park it there.
We got some clovers coming in, and I'm all right with them. I don't consider clovers to be weeds.
No, they're kind of a different breed, but yeah.
Yeah, they're soft. They don't grow very tall. It's not like mowing them's like a big issue. Like, yeah, I don't have any issue with them. In fact, my whole backyard was just clovers instead of grass. It'd be great.
Yes, sir.
There he is. Let's go. Let's go.
Fucking go.
Let's fucking go, dude. This is insane. I'm mobile right now. I literally have a studio set up in my car. Like, these dudes at the gas station probably think that I'm like either spying on them or something else.
It is Montana, and it's a different part of the country where they believe very conspiracy-oriented part of the world.
Have you ever been to Montana?
Never.
Okay, all right. I wasn't sure if that was coming from, you know.
I have been to Yellowstone.
Okay, so you've been very close.
Yes, but I drove through Cheyenne.
Okay.
Kind of like diagonal across the country there. Long drive, very long drive.
Yeah, oh yeah. I've been on the road like nonstop. I left Salt Lake City yesterday.
Did you go to the Mormon temple?
No.
Yeah, what's the point?
Sorry. We had hiked that day on Stansbury Island, which is actually a peninsula. I don't know why it's called an island, but it could have been an island at one point. There's a very skinny road that may have been man-made to get to it. Yeah, we hiked up there in the mountains and stuff like that, and then after that we had like laundry to do. Everybody needed showers, so we were just like, screw it, we're going to get a hotel in the city.
Hotel tonight? Did you use an app?
No, that was last night. That was 2 nights ago. That's when we were in Salt Lake. And then I left Salt Lake yesterday. I went up to Jackson Hole, whatever you want to call it, Wyoming.
Very expensive part of the country, yes.
Yeah, oh yeah. Yeah, it's very chic there. Yeah, I stopped in. I was going to have dinner there initially, but the weather wasn't too nice. And with me having Frank, I need to go to places that are dog-friendly. So we didn't have any fancy dinner in Jackson last night, but it was cool to check it out.
I took a dump in Jackson Hole.
Nice. We ended up camping at Granite Creek. And a lot of the times when I say camping, it's strictly just sleeping in the car. Like the back half of the car has been converted to a bed, and then the other half is storage. So, yeah, I stayed at Granite Creek. It was actually very, very, very peaceful. And when I woke up, it was quite a sight to wake up to. It was pretty awesome. So, I think that's like 20 miles outside of Jackson. In the morning, I got back up, went back into Jackson, and changed my oil because it needed it. And so I was feeling really good about my car until I got into Grand Teton and had that fender bender with an RV. What an asshole. I mean, who tries to back an RV into a fucking slanted space? And then so we're sitting there, and I'm like, you're supposed to pull forward into this. Like, this is a, one way for you guys. And he goes to the end of the lot to, like, look for a one-way sign. And I, like, looked at him. I'm like, you ever been in a parking lot before? Like, slanted lines tell you which way is one way. They're going to print out a bunch of one-way signs for fucking every parking lot in America. That's why they have the diagonal lines, so that you can figure out which way you go in. He had I don't even know if he was moving at the time or was very slowly moving. I was moving, definitely. So I may have backed into him. I don't know. He might have backed into me. It was, bottom line is we both realized that we had some air to play in this, and we're just like, whatever. Same thing that the insurance is going to say. It's going to cost us more money. So his car wasn't, or his RV, their RV, I should say, it was a family. The wife was very upset. And I was like,
"Hey, you."
Oh, yeah. And I'm looking at her like, ma'am, I'm, with all due respect, my car is the one that is going to need to go to a repair shop, not yours. So if you want to keep getting upset and make a scene out of it, then we can get the insurance involved, because it's going to cost you more. We didn't, and it's all good. It's like I said, it's a piece of plastic, man. It's a piece of painted plastic that I can replace for $100 on my own.
It's funny. They say that most car accidents occur within, I think, like a few mile radius of your home.
Yes.
And here you are
in Montana.
Well, your car is your home now. You've decided to leave everything
except my dog.
Yeah. You're trying to. The cat is not with you.
No, neither cat is with me. I felt very, very bad about leaving them behind.
So, what's been the biggest self-discovery for you on this journey?
Two things so far. And I'm only, let's say the second. I'm only 2 weeks into this thing. Maybe a little over 2 weeks now. Two things. One, I think I've learned a lot more patience than I typically did, but I think this trip is helping build that. But like me, a lot of things have been on the upswing since I was relieved from my job. So I've been feeling a lot better about a lot of things just in general. So for example, today, like me fucking up that part of my car, like, to give you an example, couple years ago, I did a similar thing on the opposite back part of my car, except it was a little lower, and I popped this like little plastic piece. Buying a new one costs like $25. All right, but at the time I hadn't looked at that. I just am looking at this thing on my car that I fucked up, and I just like lost it. And I was just in the middle of nowhere by myself. Like, I bumped into a guardrail, and I just, like, flipped out because I'm like, shit, I'm going to have to pay money to fix this and blah, 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 blah. And whereas today I was just like, meh, I'll fix it later or not. Or I'll just wait until, like, the week that I'm going to resell it, and then I will fix up everything then and then, resell it. It's all cosmetic. This is just a cosmetic defect. It's not even really all that serious, so nothing worth really getting mad over.
Yeah.
So that's one piece of self-discovery, but I think that was the smaller of the two, if I had to choose. I would definitely think that the biggest self-discovery I think I've had so far is that, I'm trying to think of how I can put this best. My true self-happiness is not going to come from a job or a place or anything like that. And I've always kind of known this, but it's definitely something that's going to come through an intimate relationship, I guess, would be the, like, peak of happiness for me. But, like, having, like, I have lots of intimate relationships with my friends and stuff like that, but I mean more on a, you know, with a partner kind of deal.
Okay.
I mean, and I think I've kind of, and again, that's something that, like, I've always kind of known in the back of my head, but never really knew how much it meant to me, I guess. I mean, I've always kind of been chasing women for a long time, and, you know, if you go into the psychological deep dives on that, it's probably because my mom and I didn't get along, so there's the desire probably for some, like, strong female connection there, I guess. I don't, you know, I'm not a psychologist or whatever, but yeah, you know. And I have lots of friends, and I like visiting people and stuff like that, but, you know, at the end of the day, that, like, I'll go home a lot, and it's been easier having the dog and having the house, but still, you know, when I lay my head down at night, I'm just like, God damn it, I am alone, and I do, like, I think I'm a pretty fucking unique person, and for me to be alone and some of these other saps to be fucking happily, I don't even necessarily need to be married, you know what I'm saying? Like, I can have an intimate relationship with somebody for the rest of my life if that's what they want to do. But to see some of these people that get married and this, that, and the other, I'm just like, how are you clowns doing it? And, like, to me, it's similar to everything else in our society, is it's all half-baked. People just, like, get married and this, that, and the other, and they don't really know the person they're married to.
Yeah, we get married for the wrong reasons, don't we?
Oh, yeah. I mean, especially in this society. It's crazy. But, yeah, that's why I'm saying, like, I don't even necessarily need to get married. Maybe, like...
You're lonely.
I have been lonely for a long time, though. And it's something that, like, I guess, being self-aware at a younger age kind of allowed me to realize. Is that, like, I do want and seek that intimacy, but for me, like, I mean, it's not in the form of, like, oh, let's get a house, pop down, have a bunch of kids. Like, nah, I don't give a shit about that. That's why I said, like, it doesn't revolve around a place. It doesn't revolve around, it revolves around what we do together and how we experience life together. What I'm doing right now is great, and it's amazing, and I'm sharing it with Frank, who I can't even have a conversation with. And it's not that he's, you know, there's nothing against Frank, but I would definitely like to be kind of using this time more as a bonding experience than just merely self-reflection. But being alone, I can only bond with Frank.
Right.
Yeah. Obviously, there's that girl that's traveling across the country as well. And
so...
we may cross paths again.
No, it seems like you were you ever intimate with this woman, or you were hoping to be intimate with this woman?
We have crossed paths, and I guess I wanted, you know, hoping that more of a relationship would develop from that.
Okay.
Fuck it, it's my podcast. Yeah, like, you know, we hooked up a couple times, and then she left. She left, and I didn't realize it was going to be a left for good thing. I thought, you know, she'd be coming back at some point. And then once I realized that she's not coming back, well, it wasn't then. I didn't realize that she wasn't coming back till I was actually on the road already. But yeah, she left, and I was just like, fuck it. I don't have a job. I'm gonna go check out the country. Why not? I got a car. I got the time. I got the money. I'm gonna go do it.
And were you guys intimate this time around?
No. There could be a number of factors for that, but I wasn't even really pressing it. I think she needs this time or wants this time more for her own self-reflection and growth and things of that nature. Whereas I am definitely, I don't know everything that I need to know, but I think some of the things that she might be seeking answers to, I may have already, kind of crossed those bridges in my life. Maybe.
Right.
Not necessarily. So, yeah, I mean, I guess if I were to put it as a hope, would have been that we would spend more time together, enjoy our time together, and build something from there. But she was stressed by traveling with somebody else. I'm not sure if that was just, something she said to get rid of me, but I have no reason to distrust her at this point. And we've still been talking, since I left too. So I feel like if that was the case, she would have just been like, that guy's gone, moved on. If we cross paths again, if her and I cross paths again, I guess that'll be when I need to. I don't know. I guess just tell her how I feel.
Yeah.
I mean, I've asked so many people so many different advice is. That doesn't make any sense. I've asked so many different advices.
It makes sense.
Yeah.
You miss 90% of 100% of the shots you don't take. Is that what it is?
Yeah, that's a quote by Michael Scott by Wayne Gretzky.
LeBron James.
It's actually Wayne Gretzky, but it's I've been watching. Ooh, that's another thing. I've been watching a lot of The Office. So like
while you're driving.
So I have a phone mount, and yes, I will play if I have service. I will play The Office, and I'm not really watching it. It's more just kind of background noise as opposed to music.
How do you the facial expressions that Michael and Jim make? I think that's what makes the show.
I've also seen the show in its entirety. I think 3 or 4 times now. I actually.
I got you beat.
Oh yeah, probably. I actually just finished watching it, and was only on like the 2nd or 3rd episode when I started this road trip. And I am on to the Michael Scott Paper Company just got bought out, and they're having Casual Friday, and he wants an apology from everybody.
That's right.
That's where I'm at. So yeah.
The complaint department right here.
yeah, it's a trash can. Oh my God. Yes.
He hurt his friend. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm that's the episode that I was most recently watching. Yes, I do agree the facial expressions do make or break a lot of scenes. Having seen it a number of times through, you can kind of picture what's going on through their dialogue. And if it's anything that, I want to glance down at real quick or something, it doesn't hurt, but I'm not, staring at it. Definitely need to keep my eyes on the road. My accident came in a parking lot, not on the road.
While you were moving, and so.
I was not watching The Office at that time.
No. And every time there's always a part of me that I want to just jump right back into The Office. It's almost like a safety kit for me. Like it reminds me of when I was 4 and I refused to stop sucking my thumb, and that continued on for years.
Yeah, I know what you mean, but it's such just an easy show just to be comfortable with, and it's so. For me, they just like with Jim and Pam more because obviously they're like especially in the later seasons, they're like the focus of the show. If you look at it through their like lens or however you want to say it, it really is. It's such a great show. And I feel like, most people anywhere between 20 and 40, 45 can relate to it.
Yeah.
Like very, very, very easily. Like it hits the nail on the head. Like all of the struggles of relationships, of just working in an office for several years.
Did you get into the British version?
No, I don't even think I ever even try. I don't even think I ever watched an episode. So I can't really knock it.
Gene. Yeah, it's like me knocking Montana. Never been there.
Yeah, exactly.
No, my sister was born in Montana, and I do have some bucket list items as far as Great Falls and Helena, Montana. And yeah, I have a couple places marked all over my map. And a little jealous of what you're doing, but also motivated. But unfortunately, I'm working. There's that, number one. And number two, I went golfing with a guy on Tuesday, and he today's Wednesday. Yes. So one day, he got a positive COVID test officially today.
Sweet.
So, yeah. I was tested today, kind of in light of some other scares and people I've surrounded myself with. And I plan to leave. I have a flight booked for Seattle, Washington for Friday, by the way, which actually you're not too far away. So,
hang on. Yeah, why didn't you tell me that you were going to Seattle before Moab?
I'm telling you right now.
Jesus Christ. When are you going to be in Seattle?
I just booked the ticket 2 days ago.
And you're going to be there on Friday.
I officially fly in on Friday.
For how long? Thursday. Oh my God. Are you serious? I'm so there. Oh, are you fucking kidding me?
Now, I am. Did you not hear the first part about the COVID testing?
Listen, I got some news for you, buddy. I've been driving all over this fucking country. I'm wearing my mask. I don't give a fuck. I mean, I'm playing it safe. If you're in Seattle and I'm in fucking
I have family in Seattle.
Oh, nice. So are you not going to have any time to be available?
No. If I have COVID, I refuse to expose them. And I will cancel my trip.
Okay.
All this is pending this test.
How quickly will you get that back?
So I'm hoping that by the end of the day tomorrow, I know one way or another. Because my flight is Friday, and I would hate to wake up Friday morning and still not know.
Absolutely.
So I don't know, and Friday's also a holiday, so I have to imagine, but this is a fucking public health crisis. I don't think these people give a shit about days on or days off. Like, I believe they have a duty to get it all done. I have to also imagine that they'll be closed on Friday, so they're not going to be taking any more appointments. So I have to believe that everybody they've tested this week
should be done.
Would have, like, let's get this done before we fucking piss off for 3 days. But I don't know if they're doing like 3 days off. You know what I mean? I don't know any of this.
Yeah. Okay.
If I come, this is the itinerary. Come in Friday. Saturday, we're taking off to Port Angeles.
Okay.
Are you a Twilight fan?
A Twilight fan?
Where Edward and Bella had dinner or some shit.
Okay.
It's right near Olympic National Park.
Okay.
So you have to ferry across, and it's in the northwestern part, almost all the way to the tip. All the way there at the very top. Yeah.
All right. That sounds fun.
So we're going to be heading there for a couple of days, doing some hiking and things like that, and then returning Monday to Seattle. And then Tuesday and Wednesday, tentatively planned, is a trip to Mount Rainier, where the goal will be to hike to the top of Mount Rainier.
Okay.
There's a hiking path of some sort or trail. So there it is. That's what I got.
So if I were to...
what's your itinerary?
I have no itinerary.
I know that. What were you going to do? What were you going to do next week? Like, I don't.
All right. So I'll tell you what my itinerary was when I set up on this trip, and maybe that'll put in perspective a little bit.
You're going to Mount Rushmore.
More with the lady. I have not hit Mount Rushmore yet. That will be on the back end.
No, you got to go 4th of July. Trump's having a big rally.
No. I saw a Trump guy. I saw some dude wearing Trump stuff at Yellowstone today, and I almost said something. And I was like, I don't know why I didn't, but I will if I see anybody else. I was just going to look at him and just say, Trump sucks dicks.
Right.
And just what? What are you going to say to me? What? I didn't say you suck dicks, bitch. But they'd start flipping out, which is exactly what I want. So, no, I want to do Rushmore and Crazy Horse. I want to see Crazy Horse because that's in South Dakota as well, I think.
Yes. I missed it because it was closed. But it's like a fucking, it might be closed because it's like a privately run national park.
Yeah. Crazy Horse?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I know Crazy Horse is a different deal. Yeah, I'll have to call about that. But is Mount Rushmore, is that a national park too then?
It's privately owned national park, so it's not the public. So it's like Wally World. The parking lot it's a lot like Disney, actually. You'll probably get into a car accident there, is what I'm saying.
Great.
Paid parking. It's horse shit.
Do I need my parks pass, though?
They won't accept it. It doesn't work there.
Well, what the fuck kind of bullshit is that? Yeah,
exactly. It's just a privately funded. It's a national park, but it's privately owned.
Mount Rushmore
for the people.
Mount Rushmore. Fuck Mount Rushmore. That's bullshit. It was a government-sanctioned fucking project. What other business built their business entirely from government money and then just gets to pocket the fucking profits? I mean, I'm sure some of it has to get kicked back to the government, but what the fuck is that?
It is, I don't know how to blame it on Obama somehow, because that's what we do in this country now, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, I'm sure I can look more into it. There's been a lot of things that I was supposed to look up.
I got lucky, T, and I squeaked in there like as the sun had fallen and it was nighttime. And when we showed up, the parking lot gates were open, but everything had been closed and everybody was gone.
Oh, was it lit up?
Right, it was lit up at night, and we were still allowed in. Here's the thing. You can still go in there, but we didn't have to pay for parking. We didn't have to pay for any admission. If there was admission, I don't know.
Gotcha.
I don't know how they would have regulated it because I didn't see like ticket booths or anything or barriers or.
Yeah.
So I think it might just be a pay for parking thing. And then we were able to navigate the night trail, although it was tricky. But we had our cell phones, found a map, and found a way to follow it. Wasn't easy, but we did it. It's a fun little trail, and I think it's purposely so many steps. I don't know what it is, how many steps exactly.
Probably like 1776.
But I feel like the steps were, something like that. Some shit, It's on the internet somewhere. But I didn't.
The Freedom Tower with its antenna is 1,776 feet tall.
Where you are, I think like Devil's Tower, from a national park point of view, personally, I enjoyed that more, just the sheer beauty of it.
Is that in Montana?
It's in Wyoming, but in the opposite corner of Yellowstone. So the western part. So you may have blown past it, but doesn't mean you can't hit it on the way back. It's very near to South Dakota, honestly. But
wouldn't that be the east side of the state?
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, because Yellowstone's on the west side.
It is.
Yeah,
Yellowstone is basically the entire corner, the northwestern corner there.
Yeah, that's what I kind of realized. I was like, holy shit. It was cool.
I got stuck there. I got snowed in.
In Yellowstone?
When I went in October. In October.
Ooh.
And I had a 2-night reservation at the campground. And when I woke up to snow, and I'm an Arizona boy.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know what the fuck to do. So I go to the office, and they informed me that we were not allowed to leave. We were not allowed. They said you can walk, but you can't drive.
Wow.
And they're working the snow plows. And I said, well, what's the weather report? And they're like, more snow. So I'm like, I didn't know what to do, honestly. They were like, but you do have another option. You can drive out. We do have a road clear. You would have to go out of Boise. And you could leave the park, but you can't drive around in the park. And so I had to make a choice then. Do I just stay and get snowed in, or do I just make a run for it? And I made a run for it. And it was actually a smart decision, although I lost a day in Yellowstone.
Yeah.
Um,
I was a little disappointed that I only spent one day there. You know, I definitely didn't get to see everything that I wanted to. But at the same time, when you have a dog with you, it definitely is a different experience because, like, the dogs can't go on the trails. The dogs can't do any, like, you're not allowed to do any of that unless it's a service, dog. So, kind of did what we did in Arches and just drove to all the highlights and made sure I got pictures and everything. It was cool. You know, I hiked a couple trails. I probably hiked, like, maybe 4 or 5 miles total, like, between all the stops I made. Ooh, yeah. Oh. Isn't it great that they also have an Uncle Tom's fucking trail in Yellowstone?
I did not see that trail. Yeah.
It is on the south rim of the falls where the canyon's at.
Yeah.
Initially, I went on the north rim, and then on the south side, there is what's called Uncle Tom's Trail. And I actually have a picture that I took of it right here of the sign. Give me one moment.
I'm actually looking at where you are right now. And I don't know if you're going to stay in Sacagawea Park tonight. I think that'll be interesting.
If Sacagawea Park is somewhere I can plop down for free, great. Otherwise,
I think it's a public park.
All right. That might be interesting, yeah.
It looks very public, and I don't know, it's better than a Walmart parking lot, but who knows?
Yeah. It's either, I try to avoid those when I can. So tonight might be a truck stop deal, but at this Sacagawea.
Yeah, but Bozeman's down the street, bud.
What'd you say?
Bozeman, Montana is down the street.
What's down there?
Bozeman's a college town. It's fucking great. University of Montana.
Okay.
Bozeman. It's probably called Bozeman.
And how far is that?
I think it looks close.
All right. Good stuff.
Let me help you navigate while I'm here, you know. So can do.
I'm looking at Uncle Tom's Trail. Shortly after 1900.
30 minutes to Bozeman.
Okay. Short. Is that where the park is? Or is that just another observation?
The park is in Livingston.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
No, I don't.
So shortly after 1900, Uncle Tom Richardson took visitors down into the canyon along this trail. Originally with 528 steps and rope ladders, it now descends 328 steps, or about 3/4 of the way down into the canyon, for an excellent view of the lower falls. Oh my god, dude. So the trail actually was blocked? Like they had it closed off?
Black Lives Matter protest?
No, there were actually just portions of the park that were closed off. From the canyon up to the tower, like that whole road was closed. I don't know if that's anything. My travel partner had mentioned that there had been earthquakes like in the past few weeks or something, so I'm not sure if there had been some sort of damage there. But yeah, didn't go that way, and Uncle Tom's Trail was closed off, like barricaded off and everything. And it's this metal staircase that's basically fastened to the cliff that like goes down into the canyon, just as they described. And it had been damaged from fallen rock and stuff like that.
Okay.
I know this because me and this Asian family just decided to breach the barricade and go down. I was so scared for a minute, dude. So, like, I went kind of, like, around the path and just, like, because it did this, like, this little U-turn kind of deal, so I just cut through the trees, and I fucking slipped on this log and almost broke my fucking stormtrooper sunglasses. I almost broke the stormtrooper sunglasses.
Oh, no.
Those things are the most durable pair of sunglasses I've ever had. Like, I fell, and they were in my hand, and I caught myself with that hand on a tree trunk, and they were, like, smashed with the force of my body, and they're still fine. And something else happened on this trip, too. I thought I broke them, and they're still kicking. Good thing I bought several extra pair just in case. But, yeah, I scaled down these stairs. Got some great pics. Going up was really tough. It's a very significant elevation change.
Yes, that does, yes.
And I guess I didn't realize how significant the thin air is. Because Yellowstone, you're at different elevations at different points in time. So I don't know. It could have been anywhere between 5,000, 7,000 feet, whatever. That is so not what I'm used to, I guess. And that was the first moment that I felt it. Like we went hiking in Dead Horse Point State Park. We did like 10 or 11 miles there, and it was hot, but I was all right. I had water and everything like that. Like this was something different. I went up and down. Like going down, I was fine, but by the time I got back up the stairs, I was like heaving. I was also running up the stairs because I didn't want to get into any trouble or anything.
It's all part of the adventure, though, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. That's the thing, yeah. Anytime something happens, I'm just like, it's all part of the adventure. Like, my alternator died. I'm like, part of the adventure. I fucking get in a fender bender with an RV. Part of the adventure. Like you said, I'm living out of my car. I can't expect my car to come back in perfect shape. I was expecting mostly to just mess up the interior, though, not anything on the exterior.
So we got a big sports game tomorrow.
What? What's tomorrow?
Liverpool and Manchester City.
Oh, they're playing. Yeah, so how is the virus or anything impacted their play, or are they proceeding as normal? How are things going there?
No crowds, just like Korean baseball or the German Bundesliga. And what we anticipate will be American sports, which, by the way...
What'd you say?
Prediction right here. The prediction is no sports.
No football.
They can't... Nothing. Definitely no college sports.
Absolutely.
Because I don't think we're going back in the fall. But I don't think the NBA's players are already testing positive.
Mm-hmm.
And it's in Florida, of all places. They chose the wrong fucking place.
I know. I don't understand. Like, I partly understand it, but then there's another side of me that was just like, that was the dumbest fucking thing that they ever did.
I think hockey chose Las Vegas, and they're already it's screwed. There's going to be no sports, baseball, nothing. All right, so you were just going to keep driving up north.
Oh yeah, I didn't finish. That's what I was going to tell you. You asked me my itinerary.
You never finished.
You asked me my itinerary, and I told you that I didn't really have one, and then I was going to tell you that might help kind of connect the dots for what I was thinking or feeling when I set out on this. I visited a friend in Dallas that I was very excited about. Hadn't seen in years. A friend from college. It's actually interesting. We had one class together. Public speaking of all the classes. It wasn't like a very significant class that everybody remembers or whatever. But met a friend in that class. We've been friends ever since. And I saw him for the first time since school just last week.
That was in San Antonio or Texas or something, right?
Yeah, it was in Dallas. But then while I was heading down that way, a friend of mine that lives in San Antonio was like, hey, come down to San Antonio. And when you're on the trip already and somebody invites you, you go. Like, if it's that close, you're going.
Right.
San Antonio was not on my initial stop or on my initial itinerary, but I made it part of it. Then I went and visited a friend up in Golden, Colorado. And that's where I met up with my travel partner. And I thought from there we were going to spend the next 2-3 weeks traveling the Northwest together. Turned out to only be 3 or 4 days or whatever, and we went our separate ways, and we'll probably, hopefully, sync up again sometime soon. So I've kind of just been winging it from there, which is why I was in Yellowstone, and I was like, well, which exit should I go out? I'm going to go out the north one and just head up to Glacier, I guess.
Yeah. I think you should. And if this works out, I think we hook up in Seattle at the very least.
Yeah, I think that would be... Is your Moab trip still planned?
It is.
So I told you I was already in Moab, right?
Yeah, I saw that.
That wasn't intentional. It's a pretty cool place, though.
Moab, when I first drove through it, I remember looking around saying, my God, I need to come back here someday. And speaking of coming back, I actually had a very pricey speeding ticket. It was one of my first times being extorted by law enforcement. And it's the best example I have of police corruption. And I need to get better at telling these stories because I think the world needs to hear this stuff, even though, I'm always afraid as far as like telling my truth versus the potential liability of any ramifications.
Yeah.
Right?
But it's like, what the hell? What the hell happened to, freedom of speech?
Yeah, the thing is that we pretend freedom of speech only pertains to government, talking against government, going into a public square and saying government is bad and we have to stop them or something, right? It doesn't. Roseanne Barr, when she made those stupid comments, she worked for ABC Disney, and that's a private industry. I worked for Disney. We had no free speech, so you have no free speech in the corporate world. So your job or your employer, if you say something, you potentially put yourself at risk.
Yep.
And that's external of, right?
Yeah.
So I don't think people get that or understand that or want to get it. I don't think anybody wants to get anything.
Well,
right? We don't want to read.
Yeah, it's just bullshit.
The president doesn't read the goddamn briefing. Yeah, that the Russians are killing Americans, right? And he's ignorant. He says, "Oh, I didn't read anything. I didn't read the report, right?
Yeah.
I didn't read all the fucking COVID reports from January and February saying, hey, take this shit serious." And the Azar guy, Health and Human Services Secretary, he's trying to sound the alarm bells, but Trump don't want to talk to him.
Yeah.
Because he's pissed off or some shit with his fucking ego.
Yep.
He doesn't read. He doesn't read, so people don't read. People are stupid.
Yep.
Fuck you, people. Done. All right, so we're going to meet in Seattle somehow, if I test negative.
Yeah, I mean, that shouldn't...
So let me see what happens tomorrow. Hopefully I get my results. And if I don't know if I can contact somebody, I'll try to find out their hours of operation tomorrow. I think that'll be my goal.
Okay.
Yeah. I feel like in a pandemic, you work longer. Well, I felt like we got a little bit out today, right?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Let's leave it there.
Sounds good.
So we ended on some pretty good COVID stuff there. I think you got your opinion out.
So we covered some good COVID stuff today. I'm still angry at the administration, and right now it's really hurting Donald Trump. So he needs to get his shit together. Otherwise, we're all doomed.
That's true. Regardless of who's in charge, if they don't have their shit together, we are all doomed.
I hope people read. I really do. I want people to read more. I don't care what it is. Read at least once a week, please.
That'd be a good goal for everybody to set for themselves. I probably need to sign up somewhere on that list. So that's all we've got for this episode. Thank you for tuning in. Again, you can search for the Catch the Sky podcast on Facebook, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, pretty much anywhere that you listen to podcasts these days. And you may also tweet at CTS Terry to interact with us on Twitter. And we hope that you will tune in for our next episode. Thank you for listening, and remember to catch the sky.
See you, world.